morning, good evening, wherever you are. Let me see if this thing will actually zoom in because I haven't actually been sitting. There I am. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to North Sports Dynasty. I am one of your hosts, Andrew Robert, Andrew LaFoobs.
There we go.
My other co-host, Alex Loosemore. How are we doing today, brother?
We're doing good. It was a busy week in sports. A really good UFC card happening tonight. NBA, NHL playoffs. It's been good.
So usually I would be a lot more like flamboyant is maybe the wrong word. Maybe right. I'd be a little bit more crazy. Problem is right now, we currently got the Euros underway. Me and Alex we've been behind the scenes working, just getting the show ready. And I've been watching Euros all morning, as you guys can see right there. Our first bet of the day is a win. We are looking really, really good. So the record that you'll also see at the end of this, add one more to it, so it's not necessarily that bad as it may look like. I'm sorry. But that being said, we got Denmark and
Switzerland, right?
No. That was, give me a second. That was
Switzerland.
Finland.
Yeah.
Sorry. Denmark and Finland. We're, I think, maybe at the 33rd minute of the game. And Christian Eriksen went to receive a ball inbound and collapsed on the field.
Literally like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. I'm literally just got it together right now.
Yeah.
Respectively. I was literally just told Alex I don't necessarily do well with this kind of stuff in sports. I don't think anybody does in regards to anything like this. So our thoughts and prayers are with Christian Eriksen right now and his family. This is a scary scene. I obviously don't want to say go and watch and see it happen, obviously. But if you want to know what's going on, I mean, this kind of stuff has happened with I can't remember his name, but the Dallas Star player who collapsed on the bench when we lost the luge player at the 2010 Olympics.
Yeah.
You know, you don't obviously want to say go back and watch or anything like that. But if you do want to know what we're talking about, I'm sure the clip and stuff will be all over the news here really, really soon.
Oh, yeah.
It's just very, very, very disturbing. I did have to rewind the game to see exactly what happened. I thought maybe he got a kick to the throat. I thought maybe he took a bad header. I actually thought because someone went down in the box previously, and I thought maybe that, like they maybe got a concussion and kind of fell or just wasn't feeling good. And then when I rewound and I actually saw when he dropped, I almost instantly burst into tears. It was not easy. That was not easy to witness. So if you do need to go watch it just to know exactly what we are talking about, it was the Denmark-Finland game. It's about the 33rd minute. Christian Eriksen collapsed while receiving an inbound pass. It was a normal inbound pass. There wasn't anything anything different than what a normal inbound pass in a football game. I'm going to show it the utmost respect right now. In a football game, in a European football game here. It is really hard to watch. They have left the field. This game is over. I'm not going to say I'm happy that I didn't bet on this game, but I don't know what they're going to call it. I think this is Euros. They are going to have to either finish it or both teams agree on something.
My guess is probably they'll just call it a draw.
I would hope so. I would really, really hope. Our thoughts and our prayers obviously right now are going out to Christian Eriksen and his family. Hopefully we figure out exactly what happened. That also sucks for any of the fans that were right there.
Yes.
This is not something easy to come out of a pandemic and obviously pay money to go and see. This is not something I would obviously want for anybody. You don't just want to see someone get that injured randomly when you don't expect it. You wouldn't want to go to a football game and, see some of the injuries that we have seen, right? You don't want to see someone, but this is different. This is untouched, fell.
Yeah, there's nobody in the area.
Those are the most scariest of injuries because we don't know what happened. Props to, and this is kind of choking me up saying this, but props to the referee and the one player, which I will find out, for seeing what a lot of people could not see live. It's difficult. That is a very difficult scene to handle as a referee. Yes. Coach, as a team, as an organization, as the fans, as anybody, and especially Christian Eriksen himself. So our thoughts and prayers go to him. We hope, obviously, that he's okay. I hate for all my fans, that are watching right now. I didn't want you to think that this is going to be a depressing show. Obviously, this is going to be a lighthearted show. This literally just happened. So
yeah,
I didn't know what to do. Alex didn't know what to do. I figured I was just going to get it off right off the bat here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now that that's taken care of, again, if you want to see, it's just Christian Eriksen has fallen at the Euros, Denmark, Finland. Viewer discretion will definitely be advised for you to watch that. Whether you're a person who watches horror movies or not, it wasn't easy to see.
Yeah.
But getting into some of the fun stuff here, ladies and gents, we're free.
Yeah.
We're free. Me and Alex are finally actually going to be able to hang out legally without being arrested, beaten, or having
$1,000 fines.
Thousands upon $1,000 fines. Our Marines at the ends of our streets do not have permission to shoot upon us anymore. We can literally leave the house and go do what we want here in Canada. Again, it is beautiful. So that's what we are going to be doing after this show. I don't know why I did that. I know I did why I did that. I smoke a lot of cannabis. Me and Alex are going to meet up. We're going to play some basketball. We got a few people that are going to be meeting up with us as well. So if you're one of our friends who are watching this and I didn't get a hold of you, or you're not part of our pickup group, just know that it's an open invitation. We're not going to kick you out of a public park. We're not bullies. Like, my mom would show up and be like, "What are you doing kicking people out of the park? It's not your fucking park." And be like, "I'm dying." Hit me in front of my friends. So yeah, we're going to be doing that. We're going to probably shoot a couple of stuff while we're there besides basketballs, but we'll maybe shoot a commercial so that we can have some, because I need to do some stuff like that as well. I've been slacking. I'm aware, and I don't care.
It was also hard to do it when you're not allowed to leave your house. So
this is also very true. So with that being said, Alex has got some other news to get into. So let's get right into that. Alex, give us all the news.
All right, so it was a pretty busy week in sports, as I said before. We'll start with the NFL, as we always do. It's also kind of MLB news because Kyler Murray, as I've said before, was a first-round pick in both baseball and football. He was asked about it, as he is every year, and he said if that opportunity comes up, he's still going to jump at it. Now, it's not that he's going to leave football to go play baseball. It's the same thing Russell Wilson was doing a few years back. If he can go to spring training and play and get some games in before football starts, he will. For those of you that aren't aware, he is a member of the Oakland Athletics. I can't remember what position he plays. I'm assuming like outfield or shortstop, something like that.
That's I believe it's shortstop, yeah.
Yeah. Most quarterbacks either are pitchers or shortstops. Jonathan Joseph, defensive back. He played for the Bengals, is where he started. Went to the Texans. He's played recently for, I can't remember where he played last year. But he's called it quits after a 15-year career. He's going to retire. Had a really, really good career. Was one of the top DBs in football for a couple of years there, and was still strong right at the end of his career. So congrats on a great career. Peyton Manning, the Broncos have come out and said he's going to be inducted into their Ring of Honor, or as they call it, the Ring of Fame. To me, I know he only played 3-4 years there, but it is well-deserved. He brought them a Super Bowl. Well, he helped get them a Super Bowl. It was that defense, but he was an instrumental part in building that team up, getting people to come there. And, well-deserved. More Broncos news. So, safety Kareem Jackson said on Aqib Talib's podcast that Deshaun Watson has told him personally that he wants to be a Denver Bronco. Oh. So if all this legal stuff clears up, look for him to call his shot and potentially end up there. As I said last week, the NFL was looking to do games in Germany as they do in London. They're pushing ahead with that. They're looking at which cities they feel would be the best to host a game.
In Germany?
Yeah, they said when you look at ticket sales and all that, a lot of those fans that are in those London games are actually coming from Germany. So that's where that interest sparked for them to host a game in Germany. As I said last week, I wonder who would be Germany's team as like the Jaguars or London's team.
That's a good question. So if that would be, so we'll touch on this quick. If that would be the case, it would probably be, say, the shittier team that has no real fan base right now. So we're probably looking at like a Cincinnati. Cincinnati, maybe the Texans as well. But the Texans,
that's kind of where I was thinking.
Yeah, but we also know the Texans wouldn't be moving there. At least Jacksonville technically makes sense, but I do think Jacksonville now makes more sense to you. Here's the other thing. We've seen Tampa have this thing in baseball where the Rays, might share Montreal and the all that together. Jacksonville might do the same thing with London. You never know, right? Like they could just sit there for half of the schedule in London and people have to fly up or fly out to them.
Yeah, 4 home games in Jacksonville, 4 in London.
Yep, and then and then the schedulers will have a hell of a time, but it's like, oh, you make lots of money anyway to do your fucking job.
Maybe it's like if you're playing one of those teams in London, they have to be coming off a bye or something, like, or going into a bye, like make it worth their while.
Frankfurt Galaxy and Rainfire had huge backlinks during World League and NFL Europe. That is true. That is very true. Yes. So what else you got?
So at the beginning of the week here, the Titans traded a 2nd and a 4th rounder for Julio Jones and a 6th rounder. Big trade. For me, I think that was one of the better spots for Julio because A.J. Brown can be your number 1.
Yeah.
Julio Jones, as long as he's there for your big games, it doesn't matter if he's there for the mediocre teams. Just have him healthy for the big games in the playoffs, and you're fine.
Ooh.
That's how I feel. And 2nd and a 4th, it's not like you're giving up that much.
No, true. That point I'll give you. Now, so it's a good thing me and you did our 1.0s with the saying we are doing our 2.0s, obviously, when everything in the offseason is done. Because I do have the Titans missing the playoffs, I think, at like 7 and 10.
I had them just missing as well. I believe at 8 and 9.
Yeah, I had them around there. And it's only because they lost like 4 main key pieces on the defense. And they have no number 2. Now they got a number 2 and they got Derrick Henry. And someone did bring up a really good point where the league, when Derrick Henry, it looks like he's going to run, like they beef up that middle. When they're going to pass, though, they don't give a shit. They're just like, all right, we'll back off. We're backing off. And it makes sense. So now all of a sudden it's like, okay, safety's got to come down and help for Julio or Derrick Henry now. And that's not an easy choice for any defensive coordinator. Wade Phillips would be having a hell of a time.
Yeah.
Todd Bowles is going to have a hell of a time going up against that if we have to. I don't think the Bucs play the Titans in our.
I don't think you do this year.
No. So if we have to play them in the playoffs at some point, that'd be very difficult.
No, you play the AFC East.
Yeah, but
New England, Dolphins.
Oh yeah. But I'm saying, like, say we played them in the playoffs, like in the Super Bowl. That's where it would be really complicated. Like if they actually got that thing rolling, where it's like, okay, we're going to use our wide receivers today, and then the defense is like, haha, we defeated your wide receivers. It's like, oh shit, Derrick Henry had 250 yards.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden,
it is going to be interesting to see how it all goes, how many touches each person gets,
and they don't have Arthur Smith anymore either. That's the other side of it that makes it like very difficult.
Yeah, we don't really know how the offense is going to look.
And like they have the tools. They definitely have the tools, and they have like consistency. I'll give them that. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I didn't mean to do that. All right, Alex, what else you got?
And so in a corresponding move, to be able to afford Julio Jones, they restructured Ryan Tannehill's contract. They were saying that was going to happen anyways, to restructure his contract. So
yeah,
good move on Tannehill to be a team player, lose some of that money, and beef up your offense. Gus Edwards, the running back for the Baltimore Ravens, signed a 2-year, $10 million extension. And following up on a story from the last few weeks, Juwan James, that tackle that tore his Achilles and was subsequently released by the Broncos, he's been picked up by the Ravens. So it's a 2-year, $3.5 million contract. I believe it's $1 million this year. And it's fully guaranteed. So he's getting that $1 million this year while he recovers from that Achilles injury, and $2.5 million next year for a good right tackle. Like that's a hell of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Moving to the NBA, just some quick awards. I believe the only one that hasn't been announced yet is Rookie of the Year, which is crazy to me. You think the last one would be the MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Nikola Jokic is your MVP. Rudy Gobert of the Utah Jazz is your Defensive Player of the Year. I disagreed with that one.
Yeah, I think we both did.
It should have gone to Ben Simmons. Just the fact that he can cover 1 through 5 and did it so well this year, I don't know how it couldn't have gone to him. And that's not a knock on Gobert at all. It's just Ben Simmons is a freak. And Tom Thibodeau was the Coach of the Year, which was, to me, it should have been Monty Williams of the Suns. But that was also well-deserved for what he did to turn around the Knicks, getting them to the playoffs. That was a hell of a job. The Pacers have fired their coach, Nate Bjorkgren, after 1 year. Look for them to be in on the Jason Kidds, Mike D'Antonis of the world, like trying to get one of these better coaches. Bjorkgren, I knew it was just a one-and-done thing because he's not that good of a coach. Speaking of coaching news, so as I said last week, Terry Stotts was let go from the Portland Trailblazers. Damian Lillard came out and said he wants Jason Kidd to be the next head coach. That made Jason Kidd uncomfortable. He is now out of the coaching search for the Portland Trailblazers. He said he does not want it anymore. He felt uncomfortable with Damian Lillard saying, "That's my guy, go get him." That's what he said. My thought is, look for him to be the next coach for the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
If they get off to a slow start next year or whatever, they're going to get rid of their guy, and Jason Kidd's going to be their new coach. And finally, for the NBA, they plan to start their season in mid-October and get everything right back to normal. Kind of expected, but it's good for things to be getting back to normal. Moving to the NHL, potential number 1 pick Owen Power has said he is a defenseman. He said he's leaning more towards returning to the University of Michigan for another year. Wants to truly experience college hockey. Now the thing is, he can play that college hockey season. They could draft him number 1. Buffalo could.
Yeah.
He could play the college season, sign after the season's done, and still play in the NHL next year. So, which is probably good. I mean, they've got decent defensemen already. Man, Owen Power looked damn good in the IIHF championships.
Decent defensemen. They have the best defensemen, in my opinion. They just don't know how to use them.
Well, they have 2 really good defensemen and then not much behind.
Well, I mean, okay. Yeah. Right.
That's what I meant. Their defensive core is okay.
The core. The core.
Yeah,
that's fair. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Tuukka Rask, the Boston Bruins goalie, tore a labrum in his hip. He was playing with that torn muscle in his hip. He's going to have surgery soon, will likely be out at least half of the season next year. He's an impending free agent. He said he wants to return to Boston. Said he started his family there. He wants to continue it there. So look for him to sign a smaller deal with Boston and hopefully be in as they try to make that playoff push. The NHL is going to start announcing their award winners on Monday, and they'll do it throughout the week. Columbus has found their new head coach, so they got rid of John Tortorella. It is their assistant coach, Brad Larson, who's been an assistant on that team for the last 7 years. He's respected by the players, loved by the players. I think this is a good move for them. And just some CHL news, just tie that into hockey. The first ever female was selected in the OHL draft. It was goalie Taya Curry, selected in the 14th round, 267th overall. It'll be interesting to see if she plays at all. It is going to be difficult because she's a small goaltender. She's only 5'7".
Yeah.
So it's going to be difficult, but just congrats on the ability to do it.
Not impossible. Not impossible.
Oh,
Definitely
absolutely.
not impossible.
The MLB. So first, their All-Star Game voting is now open. If you are interested in that and want to get your team's guys into the All-Star Game, go vote. And just an insane stat. Mets ace pitcher Jake DeGrom. His ERA right now is sitting at a 0.56. That's his earned run average per game. A really good ERA is in that 2 to 3 range. He's at 0.56. Like, this is like legendary numbers we're talking about.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's on fire right now. Look for him to be the front runner when they start talking awards for MVP and the Cy Young in the NL, because that's just legendary numbers. That's absolutely insane.
The Cy Young.
And one last thing.
That was a Pokemon joke, by the way, people. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, what you got?
The last thing, huge news out of college football. So for the last few years, they've been talking about trying to do an expanded playoff, talking 6 teams, 8 teams. They weren't really budging on that. So now what they've done is they've come up with a 12-team playoff bracket. And it sounds like it's likely to actually happen. So what it would be is your top 6 conference championship teams get in, and your top 6 at-large teams, so your second place, third place teams in those conferences. Your first 4 teams get a bye. The 5 through 8 will host a home game against the 9 through 12s. The only thing I don't like about this is I love that the first round is at the home stadiums. The second round, so if you're one of the best 4 teams in the country, you don't get that home game. No. It's a bowl game or a neutral field game, which to me is just garbage. Give those teams a home game too and make your final, 8, your final 4, make that your bowl games like it is now. Don't steal bowl games from these other teams that also deserve it, even though they're 6-win, 7-win teams. They still earn their right to be there. Don't steal it from these guys. Give those top 4 another home game, and then do the 3 bowl games, the 2 final or semifinals, and then your college football playoff championship. That's how I feel about it. Let us know what you think.
I do like the Florida Notre Dame matchup.
That would be such a fun one.
As a big Florida guy, I would like the hardest route to get through. And the easiest route in this one here would have been this, like, Penn State could have gotten to the finals, and I would have been not happy. not happy.
Yeah.
Like Penn State versus Alabama, I would have been like, no, thank you. No, thank you.
Agreed.
So,
and that's all I got for news.
Right on. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to make a video for this one day. It would be like quick. It would be like, Alex with the news. I gotta edit things and be better because I lack in certain things. Right, honey? No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, now it is time. We're going to go through the comments first. I know how to do this. Keep it together, man. Johnny says, what's up, guys? Christopher Cole says, what's up, everyone? Johnny says, cool, I'll be right there. I wish I could have Johnny and Jared and Robert and all those guys can play basketball.
Yeah.
That would be fun. Pound that share button. Breaking news, the Detroit Tigers have drafted more Super Bowl winning quarterbacks than the Detroit Lions.
Matt, you don't know how many times I've seen that over the last few days. So for those of you that want context on that, Patrick Mahomes was drafted by the Detroit Tigers to play pitcher. And then he decided, and his dad was also into baseball, like played in the MLB, all that. And then he decided he wanted to go his own route and do football, and obviously that's worked out for him. And now the ironic part is he's the part owner of the division rival of the Detroit Tigers.
Yep. So, listen, people draft baseball players all the time in hopes that they might get something.
Tom Brady was a catcher for the Montreal Expos.
Boom.
Yeah.
Right? Peyton Manning's forehead is now being rented as a drive-in movie theater. Wow. Jeez. That would be interesting. Hallelujah, Andrew actually insinuated the Texans are shitty. Mark the times. I do think they are. I think they have I have more, how do you call it? I think Deshaun Watson is a lot better than people think he is.
I mean, they had Deshaun Watson last year, and they were the third worst team in football, and their roster only got worse.
Okay, hold the heck on. So if that be the case, why the hell would they want Matt? Why would they trade 2 first-rounders for Matt Stafford?
The Texans?
No, not the Texans. The Rams, though. Just think about it. 2 first-rounders for someone like Matt Stafford, because it's the possibility of what they, aka the quarterback, could do. Deshaun Watson had
this is nothing on Deshaun Watson. Watson. This is everything on the Texans. Yeah, Deshaun Watson was there, and they were garbage, and the roster got worse. So I don't see how.
If Deshaun Watson was on the Texans team of the Lions team of last year, with only difference is Stafford is just broken down somewhere, and Deshaun Watson is all of a sudden like a Detroit Lion. The Detroit Lions are 10-6 and going to the playoffs.
No, they're not.
Man. Yes,
they're not.
Yes, they
Stop
are.
it.
Yes, they are.
Stop it. No, they're not.
Deshaun Watson.
Matthew Stafford is a top 10 quarterback.
Yes, he is.
And they were garbage with him.
This is a fair
Deshaun
assessment.
Watson is also a top 10 quarterback. It's not going to change anything.
Deshaun Watson has
Don't
mobility.
Don't about my Lions. No.
You know what? You would have kept some wide receivers. Galladay and freaking
Marvin Jones.
Yeah. You told me if Deshaun Watson would have had those guys. He's
Matthew
never
Stafford
had.
was thrown to them.
That's Stafford. Deshaun Watson has never even had anywhere close.
DeAndre Hopkins?
Okay, that's
Excuse
one.
me?
That's one. I'll take Kenny
Brandon
Galladay.
Cooks, bro. Brandon Cooks is a good receiver.
I'll take Marvin Jones or Kenny Galladay over Brandon Cooks and Will Fuller any day.
I would take Galladay over those guys. Marvin Jones fit really well into our scheme, but I'm not sure he's better than those guys.
You know what, Johnny? You are tearing this show apart. Misador beat me to it. Your sister said Titans play Bucks week 2 and then laughed at me. And then
she's trolling.
Okay, because that tripped me out. I was like, no, we do not. And I'm looking through my book and everything. I was like, no, we play the Falcons. So thank you for tuning in, Jalen. If you're tuning in, Andrew and Alex do in fact talk football. They're Canadians and do other sport topics as well. Stick around, guys. They will indeed do football. Yeah, we do football. We do everything though. This is an everything show. We do our big three is obviously fantasy football, Dynasty fantasy football.
Yep.
Mock drafts, which pretty soon our NHL and NBA mock drafts are coming out.
Yep.
Pretty soon. Because we need to do them soon.
Yep, we do. It's
and
gonna
then,
come quick.
yeah, and we also, and then the expansion. The expansion predictions are going to be coming out here pretty damn soon.
Yeah.
And there was another thing that we're going to be doing. I can't remember.
Was there?
What? I think there was. We'll have to go back through the notes or something like that. I can't remember. I'm a bad boss, so I'm aware of it. Buck fans, Lion fans, betting fans, fantasy fans. This is about for you all. Well, betting is, we do that. I am getting better. I did really bad. I got us right back up. And then for some fucking reason, I put us right back down so quick. And I felt
that's
so
the way
bad.
it goes, though.
Yep. So as you guys can see from the record, all right, book there.
It should be 144.
It is 144 technically right now, yes. And it's a good thing, like I said, it's a good thing technically. I did not bet on that Denmark and Finland game because I think that would have just ended up in a push. So whichever.
Yeah.
The money is going to get better, though. I promise all my fans that. Yeah, so looking at I could possibly get over 500 tonight. We just gotta hope that the other games end up panning out.
And Nate Diaz.
Watson won't be playing anytime soon with the Texans or anyone else. With the Texans, fuck no. With anyone else, I don't know.
If stuff clears up soon,
Denver will just say, "Fucking here you go."
Yeah, I think as soon as it clears up, he's gone.
Here you go, because then it would suck. But then they could trade Bridgewater over or Locke. I don't think the Texans want any of those guys. They're gonna have to take one.
Tyrod Taylor and Davis Mills. I think one of those guys is starting for you.
Davis Mills. We both love Davis Mills. I think Davis Mills still needs a year or two just to find out what the hell is actually going to happen with that system.
I agree.
Whereas
I don't think they give it to him though. I think they throw him in and try and just pin all their falls on we had a rookie quarterback.
They need to do what Minnesota's doing with Kellen Mond. And it's just like, just relax. We have Kirk Cousins for a bit. It's like, if you do make this trade and you get, say, Drew Lock, and they kept Bridgewater there, it's like, all right, you got Tyrod Taylor, and then if he's not working out, you got Drew Lock. And then for some odd reason, if that's not working out in the next year or two, then boom, there you go. Then all of a sudden you go to Davis Mills. And I do think you give him a target, he might actually do something. No,
thank you, Johnny.
No fucking way. Stafford is better with more experience in that stupid Lions system. Watson isn't the type of quarterback to put a team on his show.
I will say that that system we had the last couple of years offensively, I thought it was a good scheme. It was just literally Matt Patricia's an idiot. Darrell Bevel's a good offensive coordinator. Stafford had his best years with Darrell Bevel.
Johnny, Deshaun Watson put his own life at risk and saved it in the playoffs, okay?
But
Michael Jordan himself, and every time this team has won in the last little bit, it's because of him. Fuck Bill O'Brien.
I would have said the Texans had more talent than my Lions last year. Stafford got them to more wins in a better division.
Okay, hold up. Okay. Deshaun Watson, J.J. Watt. We're just looking at the team last year, obviously. Deshaun Watson, J.J. Watt.
Brandon Cooks.
Really? Okay,
Laramie Tunzel.
Okay, yeah, Laramie Tunzel, yeah.
Bernardrick McKinney's a good middle linebacker.
Okay, but we're talking
Whitney Merciless.
Okay, Merciless, I'll give you. This is 5.
Okay.
And then
you want to talk that caliber of players? Stafford?
You want to talk? Okay, Stafford, Marvin Jones, Kenny Golladay. There's one dude on your offensive line for sure.
Right now.
Yeah.
Right now is one of the best centers in football, unless you're talking Taylor Decker, the left tackle.
And I was gonna say you have Decker too, right? That makes it 5. And then all of a sudden, Okuda. And then you got
Okuda was garbage last year.
He's still a rookie.
He doesn't get to go up there in that talent level.
Okay, that's fine. And then you got freaking Flowers. And then you got shut up, Johnny. Shut up. How dare I give you the controls of this? I still think if it's all personnel.
The Texans destroyed us last year.
Yep.
They demolished us.
Yep. But I'm
but
just
Stafford
saying,
still got more wins. Stafford carried his team.
If Stafford, and I'm not saying like put Stafford with like the Texans and like compare that or anything. Yeah. I'm just saying get Deshaun Watson out of Bill O'Brien and the Texans, and
absolutely
put him on a shitty team, and he'll be like, okay, now I'm going to prove to everybody why I earned this money and why I can earn like the culture that is around me. You know what I mean? He's still that guy, unless he's proven guilty. I should say this in all of it. I don't know why I'm defending a guy who may just go down in history as like the next freaking like OJ Epstein here. Like, Jesus. So, yeah, let's get into our rankings. Let's do that. Okay. So the way we're going to do this, we decided we're just going to do the top 10s for today. We're going to do our 11 through 25s probably next show or the show after. We want to get the rankings up and let everybody see, ask the questions. The major thing for everyone to remember, though, is this is Dynasty, right? Hold on. What is it? Shut up, Alex. Andrew was supposed to be on the Texas side now. Listen, you can have your little thing with him on your show, all right? That being said, so we got the quarterback rankings here. And all the rankings, obviously. But we're going to go quarterbacks first. We're basically just going to say the top 10s, and then we're going to point out a couple reasons why.
Yes.
We got certain ones. So basically, in order, what I got here, we're going to go 10 to 1. We'll go number 10 to number 1 because it might surprise some people. So number 10, remember everybody, Dynasty, PPR as well. 14 people in the league. This is basically the standard of what we talk about across the board. Number 10, I got Russell Wilson. Number 9, I got Trevor Lawrence. Number 8, I got Joe Burrow. Number 7, I got Dak. Number 6, I got my boy Deshaun Watson. Number 5, I got Justin Herbert. Number 4, I got Josh Allen. Number 3, I got Lamar. Number 2, I got Kyler. And that obviously means my number 1 is Mr. Patty Mahomes. Alex, what do you got for your top 10?
So I will say Trevor Lawrence did not crack my top 10.
Oh, how dare
I've got Joe Burrow at 10.
Okay.
I've got my boy Matthew Stafford at 9.
Ooh, yeah.
I've got Justin Herbert at 8.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers at 7.
Ooh.
Russell Wilson at 6.
Ooh.
Mr. Dak Prescott at 5.
Okay, yeah.
Lamar at number 4.
Okay, yeah.
Kyler at number 3.
Yep.
Patrick Mahomes at number 2. And I might catch some heat for this, but Josh Allen is my number 1 quarterback.
Listen, I won't give you any heat for it, only because
I was like, I know you won't.
I got like there's 4 quarterbacks in a dynasty, in my opinion, that you would want to start with. And that is like, say, Patrick, Kyler, Josh, and Lamar. A lot of people would throw in Justin Herbert or Joe Burrow, or depending on what happens with Deshaun Watson, I would still throw him up there, and Dak. Like that. Dak is a big question mark just because we want to see what the injury is going to be. And
supposedly he looks back to normal.
Yep. And the other major thing is like, are we going to see that flying high offense that we did before? Because that is what a lot of people are interested to see. That's the reason why CeeDee Lamb is really high on some people's lists and stuff like that, is because of the Dak Prescott era and this, that, and everything else.
Well, and people also forget 2 years ago, Dak was the number 1 fantasy quarterback
by far.
Then they added CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, it was Lamar and Jackson. It was Lamar and Prescott. That was it.
Yeah,
and I had both of them that year. I was like, I'm not even trading it. Like, just no one's getting it. One question that was just thrown at us: why Rodgers so low? For me.
He didn't even crack your top 10.
No, he's not even in my 15. He's at 16.
Wow. How is he?
So here's the thing. This is Dynasty as well. So age does play in a factor, right? When you look at some of the other players that I did, like just to throw in there, I got Stafford ahead of him. I got, Trey Lance ahead of him, Fields. I'm still kind of high up on Tua. I think that the trade value or the trade rumors of like Deshaun Watson or Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson and stuff like that, I think that kind of may have gotten to his head. And he's like, all right, listen, I came in halfway through the fucking season, guys. Give me a fucking break here. Yeah. But also at the same time, too, I honestly think Aaron Rodgers is probably going to sit or not play some of these games, not because of injury. And that adds into points taken away when you look at the longevity of his career. Like he may only have 4 to 5 years left, and that's saying possible eliteness. I still think he's only got like 3 or 4 years of like tier top eliteness if he goes to a proper team. If he stays in Green Bay, he's not going to be able to play like that in the cold for so long. No. So there is that reasoning. There is also the fact that when he had a running back by committee, we use that term loosely, but running back by committee just basically means when you have 3 to 4 running backs and not necessarily one is your go-to, but all of them are your go-to. Yeah. He used to have 3 to 4. There was another guy that they kind of threw in there, but now he's only got 2. He's got Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon and then maybe some others, right? Yeah. So, and only Devontae Adams. They've missed out on bringing in any of these guys. They sniffed around. And then all of a sudden you got today where freaking Mark Murphy said that Ted Thompson – before he passed or in his passing or whatever, said that Aaron Rodgers is just like a little difficult to coach or to be around. It's just a little different and stuff like that. It's like, that's not good. So for fantasy wise, this is a question mark. And when you have for sure's, obviously you can base your rankings off that. For me, what I do with question marks is I still put them in there based off of their high value and then their low points. So Aaron Rodgers had a really good season last year and he's going to be worth some value. But when you look at it towards the future, because again, we talk Dynasty. Yeah. When you look to the future, a lot of people are going to want to try and have Justin Fields, Trey Lance, the last little bit of Stafford here that they can get because there is the opportunity that his offense he may be one of the first quarterbacks to crack 600 yards in a game. I kid you fucking not, man. Like, If he goes up against a secondary like the Jets and just Lions.
They play us this year.
Yeah, but I don't think
and it's a revenge game too. I think he goes off on us.
I do agree too, but not for 600 yards.
He could.
Pray to God your Lions never have to deal with an 0-16 season and their number 1 quarterback coming back and throwing for not only a franchise record but like a league record 600 yards. I think it's 577 is the record.
Yeah, it's right around there.
And I want to say
for some reason I thought 583.
That could be right too.
It is Norm Van Brocklin.
Oh, okay. I thought it was Peyton. Or Peyton got pretty damn close one game too. So
I got an update on Christian Eriksen here. He has been stabilized.
Oh, thank God. Good. I saw my Twitter was kind of blowing up here. I'm gonna actually pop to it and see. Okay, yeah, there we go. Good. So Christian Eriksen is stabilized. Get more details as well if that comes to be. The game has been suspended. I'm actually looking at it on betting lines right now. It's still technically there because they can't make it official they can't make it official on betting until it's actually official in real life. Yeah. So don't look for that to be changed at all today. So last couple things just with the quarterbacks here. The two, so I'm going to defend you a little bit here on the Josh Allen. I have Josh Allen in our league. Yeah. And when you I did not build my team to brag or anything like that. I did it so that it's more fearful. It's a one season for sure. Like everybody fear me coming into this season. I'm fucking coming for that belt that we still got to buy pretty damn soon here for Brad. Yeah. And get that to him. Because then I'm just going to take it right back. So, Brad, if you ever do watch this, understand that we do have a couple of belts that we have looked at. We're working on it, man. But yeah, so I have Josh Allen, and I don't have Stephon Diggs, but I do love having Josh Allen in there, because a lot of people, when you're doing these dynasty drafts and these startup leagues right now, Josh Allen is not in the first round, and he's not even in the second round on some of these that I've seen.
Yeah.
Like, he is a third or fourth round draft pick, and you're getting a young, proven fucking quarterback here.
He's only going into his 4th year.
And he's about to get an extension. And people are like, oh, yeah, but quarterbacks, when they get an extension. Yeah, he's playing in Buffalo, who they traded for Stephon Diggs. When they traded for Stephon Diggs, they basically told him, we want you here and we want to win this fucking title because we know we got something. It's very, it's good. It's a good pick. So, yeah, that was our top 10s. Just looking at, I put initials beside, so that kind of compare here. We're both kind of respectively still high on Russell Wilson. You had Joe Burrow in the top 10? No.
Yeah, at 10.
Right at 10, and I got him at 8, so we're pretty close on that. Lamar Jackson, we're still pretty close on. Like, our top 4 is pretty much just interchangeable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, our top 10 looks pretty close here. We're pretty high on Dak as well. Dak could very easily take the step next year into people's like top dynasty quarterback that they want. They'll be talking like Patrick Mahomes, Trevor Lawrence. I might take Herbert top though. So if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna take Herbert, he is again that 3 to 5 round mark.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're talking dynasty, he's still that 3 to 5 round mark. Again, some people are gonna reach, but that's where it becomes value for you. If you're just looking to get the points, then you can get another quarterback that's just as good, or if not going to be better than Justin Herbert. That also said, if you want Justin Herbert, you also got to look at the league that you're playing in.
Yeah.
If you're talking about, say, the league that you want to set up there, Johnny, if it's dynasty, there is no Chargers that are in there, so you're probably good. But just know, like, if me and Alex are in there and all of a sudden a run on quarterbacks is gone, or we're in the 4th round and me and Alex pick before you and Justin Herbert's like there, he's probably gone. Yeah. So just know who you're playing with, and you'll basically be good.
For me, the only reason he's not in that top 5 or 6 there is if you look at it, Allen, Mahomes, Murray, Jackson, Prescott, Wilson.
Yep.
If you look at it, the one common thing, I mean, obviously they're quarterbacks, they throw the ball, but they also run the ball a decent bit.
Yes,
Herbert, while he's got the ability to run, has shown more of a pocket passer skill set. So for me, that's the difference there in the fantasy ranking.
Yeah, it's like Dak can run a little bit too. Like Dak has the Patrick Mahomes ability, the Aaron Rodgers ability.
He's gonna run when he has to. He's gonna sit and throw, but when he has to, he can get out.
And those points do become value to you later on. Whereas the system for the Chargers is basically going to be set up so that it's here. Okay, if you have to run, that's fine. We're going to go and try and trade for a Julio Jones or one of these other weapons for you just to make sure that you are good. You don't have to run. Like they got Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, another Williams, and then you got Palmer, and you got Austin Eckler and Justin Jackson and all that. Like they are set. They are pretty good there.
That's a loaded roster.
Speaking of running backs, let's get into our top 10 running backs of this league this year. We will do obviously 10 to 1, as predicted, as I said earlier. So number 10 for me, I got Nick Chubb at number 10. Number 9, I got Antonio Gibson. I love Antonio Gibson.
He fell just out of my top 10.
Fair enough. A lot of people have him just outside too. I'm a little bit. If someone in our league wasn't so high on him just as much as I would already have had him. But they were like,
I like Antonio Gibson a lot.
Yeah,
really good running back.
Number 8, Derrick Henry. Number 7, and this is good. I got a lot of people who are going to come at me probably for number 7 and number 6. Number 7, I got Najee Harris. Number 7, I got number 7 Najee Harris. Number 6, I got Cam Akers. Number 5, I got Dalvin Cook. Number 4, Saquon Barkley. Number 3, Jonathan Taylor. Number 2 is Alvin Kamara. And number 1 is our boy that me and you both tried so hard to trade for and we couldn't find the right package to get.
Yeah.
Is Christian.
Damn you, Kyle.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey. Yeah, damn you, Kyle, if you're watching. Give us your top 10.
So I'll say our 1 and 2 are the same, but everything else is completely different.
Yeah, nice.
So number 10 for me is Joe Mixon.
Ooh.
Number 9 is Aaron Jones.
Okay.
Number 8, I have Nick Chubb.
Okay.
Number 7, I have Ezekiel Elliott.
Ooh.
Number 6, Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Number 5, Jonathan Taylor.
Okay.
Number 4, Gimme King Henry.
Yeah. Okay. Derrick Henry.
Number 3, Dalvin Cook.
Okay.
And then obviously 2, Kamara. 1, CMC.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So this is interesting. So
I like that we're a little bit different on this one.
Yeah, like this is the reason why our show. That's the reason I brought you into this too, is because it is interesting to see the way that we. I was waiting to see DeAndre Swift in the top 10.
He's 11. He's 11.
Oh, interesting. See, I got him at 14. So we're okay.
That's a pretty good spot too.
Okay.
For me, he's definitely that 11 to 15 range.
Yeah, and then what was the other one? You got Ezekiel Elliott. The only thing, me and you are different on Ezekiel Elliott. You got him at 7. Yeah, and I will admit, yes, the youth and stuff is so good. Just youth. Sorry. Anyway, Ezekiel Elliott, he is still youthful. Unless he's traded, I don't know if he's going to be like that much more value in that system. I think he's just going to be there for like 10 to 12, maybe 14 carries a game, and it'll be like 55 to 85
I
yards.
disagree.
See? Okay.
Every time he's been good, it's when they've had that lethal passing game. And you use him, you ground and pound, you take that lead with that passing game, and then he eats you later. And look for screen passes and those short little angle routes and all that. And that offensive line early in the year is still going to be good. So I think Zeke could have a big year.
Okay, that's fair. I'm on the different side of it only because I do think he's going to be one and done in Dallas this year. I think, like when I say one and done, I think he's only got one more year and then he's done in Dallas. Okay. I think they will eventually trade him or release him of that contract so that he will sign somewhere else, and you'll get a Lev Bell type situation. So if we are talking dynasty, I do caution everybody not to run a risk of trying to draft him too high, because you probably will be able to get him for a little bit cheaper. Whereas I have him at 16.
Interesting.
And it's funny because you got Joe Mixon. You got Joe Mixon at 10, and I got him at 15. So we're not necessarily that far off from that either.
Yeah.
What was the other one here? Aaron Jones. So we're not far on that. You got him at 9, and I got him at 11. So it may seem like me and you are like so different and stuff, but we're not necessarily.
We're not that far off.
No. Whereas Cam Akers, me having him at 6. Where do you have him actually?
He's another one in that 12 to 15 range.
Okay.
So from 12 to 15, I don't remember the exact order off the top of my head, but I believe it's him and Gibson. And actually, I'll just look it up.
Okay. The reason why I got him so high, though, I'm gonna bring some light into this. If you guys want to know a sleeper that somebody or some teams may actually, or some fantasy teams may be sleeping on, is Cam Akers. And the reason why I say that is
I've got him at 15. Okay.
Is because of Matt Stafford. Yeah. Everyone knows that this offense, should be really incredible. There is holes still. There is still respectable holes in that offensive line.
Yep.
And I think the pressure is eventually going to start getting to Stafford. Not the pressure to him necessarily, but like the actual pressure from the defensive line
pressure,
is going to get to Matt Stafford. And Cam Akers may actually take this next leap into being a pretty solid pass-catching back. And we are a PPR league.
Yep.
And so I think if you get certain matchups, the catches may make him like a David Montgomery of last year, where it's not the sexiest pick, but you want him up there because of that pass catching ability. The only difference between him and David Montgomery is age. Cam Akers has only got 1 year. Montgomery has got a few. So
he's like third or fourth year.
Yeah. So I would personally, that's just me. I would personally take the run on that. Speaking of runs, we're now going to talk about some of the faster wide receivers in the league.
Yes.
And do our quick wide receiver rankings here. And this one's going to surprise a lot of people, I bet you any money, when I say my number one overall. Because it should be pretty much like solid 1 and 2, but it's not anymore is what people think.
I don't think it is.
So number 10, I got Keenan Allen.
Interesting. He fell just outside my top 10. 13.
Fair. Okay. Number 9, I got Michael Thomas.
Same.
So, is that? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 8, I got Devontae Adams.
Ooh.
A lot of people are going to give me shit for that. I know. Number 7, I got my boy, who I've tried again so hard to trade for, and everyone's like, no, full bear, not doing it. Terry McLaurin. I wanted him
12 for me.
Okay. Yeah. See, I want him so bad.
He's gonna be really good.
Number 6, DeAndre Hopkins.
Really?
Oh yeah.
We're gonna discuss that one in a second.
Number 5, Justin Jefferson.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Number 4, Stephon Diggs. Bring on Diggs.
Okay.
Number 3, Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
Number 2, AJ Brown.
Wow.
Number 1 is Calvin Ridley. Give me Calvin Ridley all day, every day. Man, if we did not have Kyle in this damn league, I would be trading a lot for him, but there's no fucking way.
Oh, yeah,
Kyle,
he's not giving him up.
There's no way. Even if I was like, here, take Dalvin Cook and Jonathan Taylor and Cam Akers, because I have all 3. And take my first round pick. I want Calvin Ridley. He'd be like, nope.
No.
I don't think so. Like, you're a bastard. But yeah, I have him high ranked only because Julio is now gone. That offense is going to take off. That offense is still going to see a lot of targets with Arthur Smith. So that means Calvin Ridley is going to see targets. Yes, he is also going to expose targets to Kyle Pitts. Russell Gage, Zukius, I believe is the other guy's name. Zacchaeus. Yeah. Those guys are going to see some attention because Calvin Ridley may, even if he stays the same.
He's going to take the number 1 corner every game.
Mm-hmm. And even if he stays the same receiving yards and touchdowns that he did last year, it's the receptions and the reception targets that he's going to see are going to increase. That's the best part. All right. Give us your top 10.
So I called my shot on this one, thinking he would be a Tennessee Titan, and he is.
Ooh.
Give me Julio at number 10.
Okay.
As I said, Michael Thomas is sitting there at 9 for me.
Yeah.
Number 8, DK Metcalf.
Okay.
Number 7 is where I put Justin Jefferson.
Okay. Yeah.
Number 6 is AJ Brown.
Ooh.
Number 5, that's where I have Calvin Ridley.
Okay.
Number 4, Devontae Adams. Number 3, I agree with you on Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
Number 2 is DeAndre Hopkins. And number 1 is Stephon Diggs. So number 1 quarterback, number 1 receiver for me are residing in Buffalo.
And it makes sense because they're going to have one hell of a year next year.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people do throw in, oh, yeah, but people understand what they're doing now, so that doesn't mean that they're going to get away. It doesn't matter. Once you see Cole Beasley go off for a week or two, you're not going to want to have no little white guy out doing that.
Gabriel Davis is a good young receiver, too. Like, they've got help around him.
I am so happy when we started off our Dynasty leagues last year that there's some players that I took a chance on, and Gabriel Davis is still, I believe, on my team, or I traded him to you, but at least I got value for him. And James Robinson. Like these players that come in and are going to be good for Dynasty, they are good trade baits as well. And Gabriel Davis is going to be fun. Yeah. Okay, so this DeAndre Hopkins thing. So you mad because I put him at 6?
Yeah, I want to know your reasoning on that.
So there's so many damn wide receivers and talent on that team now. Whereas I think he's going to be a high-scaled Mike Evans type for Dynasty for the next couple of years. So the reason why I put him at 6 is because I do think he's going to go off for a couple of games, and it's going to make sure that he's top 10 relevant. He is going to be a red zone threat every single time. But for this year, they got AJ Brown, and for the next continuous years, or AJ Green, thank you. Yeah. For the next continuous years after that, you got
Christian Kirk, Rondale Moore.
Yeah. And if they're willing to, have 4 of those guys, and they were willing to trade for Julio as well, they were apparently the third best option. Like that means that they'll probably go grab another guy. I mean, they just like one tight end away from being one hell of an offense. Or if they really pulled the trigger and drafted Najee Harris, which I still think would have just made that, I would have drafted Najee Harris at number 1 and been like, I'm done. No one's trading for Najee Harris. The only reason I traded Najee Harris in the one league that I got him there is because I needed 2 running backs and a wide receiver. And when someone sent me an offer, they sent me an offer of something else. And then I tried to get 3 running backs, and they were like, no, but you can have 2 running backs and a wide receiver. And I'm like, fine, okay, I need that. So,
to me, my thought process is you say there's a lot of weapons in Arizona.
Yeah.
To me, that puts into my head, they're not going to be able to double cover him.
Okay.
So he's going to get a lot of, yes, it's against the top corner, but he's been facing the top corner for years. To me, it's going to be a lot of one-on-one battles, and he's going to win those battles. Like, I still think he's one of the top 3 fantasy receivers in the game.
It's not going to, I mean, when he plays the Rams, he ain't going to do shit. I mean,
no, Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, Jalen Ramsey's a good matchup for him.
Seahawks, okay.
They don't have any corners anymore.
Not anymore.
He's going to torch them.
And all the corners in San Fran and Seattle are young. So, yeah,
San Fran's got no corners either.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
And that's 4 games right there.
I would still, I mean, your point would maybe make me put him ahead of, Justin Jefferson. I still can't put him ahead of Stephon Diggs, though. And A.J. Brown for me. I mean, for me, A.J. Brown, you got him down at 6. So we basically interchange our 2 and our 6. And it's kind of the same reasoning for you as well. I think A.J. Brown, now that he's got Julio, is going to get these one-on-one matchups because he was getting double covered because Corey Davis was good, but wasn't
not that level, yeah.
Exactly. So now all of a sudden, AJ Brown and Julio are getting like one-on-one coverage. Is like, oh shit. Okay. And Tannehill's not a bad quarterback either. So he's going to toss that rock pretty well.
I think for me, Tannehill quarterback was 12.
Oh, okay. You got Tannehill at 12?
Yeah.
I got him at number 20.
I got Fields way down there.
Wow. I got Fields at 13. I cannot wait.
I got Matt Ryan at 13.
I took Matt Ryan completely off of my list. Off my top 25 list. Yeah.
With Calvin Ridley, Kyle Pitts, Hayden Hurst, he's not in your top 25? No. What the hell are you thinking, man?
No. Only because I like.
How are you going to have the number 1 receiver and your quarterback doesn't make the top 25?
Yeah. Because
how does that work?
Because it's Dynasty, first of all.
Well, yeah.
But that being said, I do think that Trey Lance will eventually have better seasons. So I'm willing to give up the chance on, say, Matt Ryan for one season. But that being said, I do have and I'm going to get yelled at for this. I know this. My 22 to 24 is Baker Mayfield, Mac Jones, and Taysom Hill. I got Derek Carr at 25, and Matt Ryan is at 26. So
my 22 to 24 is Tua, Daniel Jones, and Sam Darnold.
So I got Sam Darnold at 19, Daniel Jones at 18. So
Baker's my 19.
Man, fuck Baker. No. Also, oh man, I was gonna make such a bad transition joke and be like, fuck
Oh
me.
god. No,
Yeah. Okay.
No, moving on.
Okay, so tight ends here. I'm just go straight into it. Number 10, I got Noah Fant. Number 9,
Okay.
I got Robert Tanyan. Number
Okay.
8, I got Cole Kmet, or Net, whatever, however the hell you say it.
It's Kmet.
Okay. Dallas Goedert's number 7. I got Mark Andrews at number 6. I got Kyle Pitts at number 5. I got Darren Waller at number 4. I got TJ Hawkinson at number 3. Travis Kelce number 2, and George Kittle is my number 1 tight end of the year. All right.
We've got a lot of the same players, just not a lot of the same orders here.
Okay, what do you got?
Number 10, I've got Irv Smith Jr. of the Vikings.
Okay.
Number 9, I have Dallas Goedert.
Okay.
Number 8, Robert Tanyan.
Yeah.
Number 7, I have Noah Fant.
Ooh, okay.
Number 6, I have Kyle Pitts.
Ooh.
Number 5, I have Andrews.
Okay.
Number 4, I have your number 1, George Kittle.
Ooh.
Number 3, I also have Hawkinson.
Okay.
Number 2, I have Darren Waller.
Okay.
And number 1 is Travis Kelce.
See, okay. I get everyone with the whole Travis Kelce thing, because the whole Patrick Mahomes thing. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Listen. I'm gonna prove my point and disapprove my point here all at the same time. All right.
Oh boy.
This guy's only got 3 years left, if that. 3 years left of this eliteness here, Mr. Travis Kelce. Maybe 4. Okay. God forbid anything happens. That being said, when you look at his points and what he does bring and this, that, and everything else, it's the only time in a long time. George Kittle is also very close, where you can to the point where it's like we're talking knocking on it, and they're just opening the door to him. Travis Kelce is, if you don't put him in your tight end slot, you can put him in your flex spot, and you're getting the production of your running back 12 through 20 and your wide receiver 11 through 17. Like, you are getting that.
You're getting good points.
And better. Like, I'm not saying anything other than that, because it's true. That said, Hawkinson, may become this elite later on. We're also talking about like the question marks, right? George Kittle is going to get Trey fucking Lance here for a bit, and a real offensive system. Like, whereas, like, I only got Travis Kelce at number 2 because, yes, at the same time, too, at number 32, it's another given position. You just put him there and you call it a day. So, and it's funny because our number, like, there's 6 tight ends in this that you can basically say are elite.
Yes,
absolutely. Then after that, it's you're trying the best matchups that you possibly can. So with regards to those 6, when you are drafting, if you're looking for youth, you go with Hawkinson or Kyle Pitts, even Darren Waller. But you would go with those 2 first. If you're looking for straight up like the best, you're going with Travis Kelce and George Kittle. If you're going for,
I'd throw Waller into that conversation. The way he played last year.
True.
Over 1,000 yards and over 10 touchdowns. He deserves to be in that conversation now.
Wait till Derek Carr is out of that system, though, and then we'll find out if he actually is.
Who says Derek Carr's leaving that system, though?
Oh, he's leaving that system. Derek Carr's got 1 year left with the Raiders with that subpar system, and then him and Chucky are both going to kiss this fucking melting asphalt goodbye and be gone. Bye out of Vegas. Go take your money and go gamble it like I have on Bodog here on roulette. I did so, dude. I was so baked last night. I deposited. I think I have like $50 because I had this thing where I was like, I'm just gonna put like 10 towards normal gambling that I do because we do the $2 bets, which you'll see down here. And then I do I wanted to put 40 down just to say like 40 on red. Fuck you, right? And just try and double it. Yeah. And all of a sudden, I think I randomly clicked like a bonus thing, and it was like 150%. And before I tried to refresh, and it kept the bonus thing on. So I figured I've already hit refresh, and I've already went back, and it's still there. So I'm figuring it was just like a typo. So I clicked it, trying to put my 50 in. All of a sudden, there was like $135 in my account, and I was like, "What the fuck just happened?" So look at my thing, and it was like this whole like Bitcoin reward thing. And if I kept playing and got to a certain thing, then I could cash it in for a Bitcoin. And I'm like, it was like, no, thank you. So I'm not gonna do it. So I like played, and it was like you got to play like the whole casino thing. So it was like whatever. So I went to the casino, and I got up to like, I think it was like 200, maybe $75 at one point. And I was like, oh, like I would pull out right now if I knew that I was actually getting this money, but I'm not getting this money. So let's just keep fucking playing. Like, and I told myself I got to like $500 and it's like, okay, stop. Now all of a sudden Bitcoin has become a real possibility here. But then, yeah, no, I lost it all on black. It's like, it happened. So, again, don't do that. But when it comes to these tight ends, though, it is hard to rank them once you get into that eliteness. Like we're talking about the 6 elite ones here, like Mark Andrews, Kyle Pitts, TJ Hawkinson, Darren Waller, Travis Kelce, George Kittle. And I'm not even like we're adding Kyle Pitts in here, assuming that he is going to be like a top tier tight end. He may finish 11 through 12 and people will forget about him and trade him for fuck all in the offseason. And then he's going to pull a Darren Waller where like he's just going to go off in a year or two here when they actually get a quarterback in there who wants to flourish in that system. That's what he's going to do. So, whereas like for me, I got Hawkinson number 3 because Goff is going to throw to him because he's got not too many targets, which by the way,
he has no proven wide receivers.
No, he's got no proven, which hold on, was it Sage Surratt?
Yeah.
That you guys got? I think I got his rookie card. Yeah. I'll have to toss that to you.
Wake Forest, yeah.
Yeah. They got some wide receivers and they are going to develop, and they're probably going to get 1 or 2 out of that little crop that are going to turn into something. And one of them may eventually get paid, and one of them will not be with the Lions past like 3 years.
Yeah.
Hawkinson's not going fucking anywhere.
Nope.
Iowa has produced some of the best tight ends, George Kittle and TJ Hawkinson, and some
literally
others.
Noah Fant, 3 of our top 10.
Yeah. And there's more to come. Like there is a couple other on that team right now that I was like, oh, that's
for Iowa. It's tight ends and offensive linemen.
Yep.
That's their bread and butter.
Not quarterbacks.
They got so many offensive linemen like Brandon Sheriff, Tristan Wirfs.
Yep.
Like James Daniels. Like they've got good offensive linemen in the NFL, like starting caliber offensive linemen.
And they are doing decent with the defensive ends. Like AJ Epinesa with Buffalo is not too bad. He just obviously needs a little bit more time.
But I mean, he was like a 4th round pick or whatever. So
exactly. Whereas like, so when the inevitable happens and the Lions do get a young quarterback, coming up, say like Shane Rattler, what was the other? There's 2 other guys.
Sam Howell.
Thank you.
Kedon Slovis.
Brock Purdy
for Iowa State. There's which one's in JT Daniels in Georgia right now, the old USC quarterback.
That's right.
There's some good quarterbacks in this class coming up.
Yeah. And
none of them are proven though.
None of them have proven it yet, though. The Shane Rattler dude looks like the next Patrick Mahomes, like literally, like with looks, like the hair and stuff.
To me, like talent-wise and everything, the one I would want is JT Daniels.
Yeah.
He just hasn't really had that opportunity to prove it. He got hurt, and Kedon Slovis took over in USC. Then he went to Georgia, and Kirby Smart had his head up his ass and played some midget quarterback for half the season. JT Daniels got in for that bowl game and looked damn good against a really good Cincinnati defense.
Yes, he did.
If they actually play him this year, then look out. Georgia would be one of those 12 teams in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'll put that down now.
Oh, I agree. Georgia's produced quarterbacks. Like they've had good talent just walk in and walk out of there, and people are getting mad like I didn't get a starting spot in Georgia. So just get fucking quarterbacks everywhere, man. Y'all gotta like relieve yourself. Like check yourselves. But again,
Johnny's throwing some things in here. So this one, who won't be with the Lions in the next few years? If you had to pick one of those young receivers, to me, I'm saying Amon-Ra St. Brown gets paid.
Yep.
I'm saying Sage Surratt doesn't make the rosters 4 years down the road.
Like 3 years of production and then gone. Yeah,
yeah. he kind of compares to Galladay for me.
Yep.
He's that big, he's 6'3". The one thing that scares me though is he's slow as hell. He ran a 2.7 or a 4.7 40.
Yeah. Wait, hey, we've also seen some people run some slow 40s, and once you get to the NFL, it's a whole different ballgame for some of these guys. So
for me, he's that red zone threat for now, if he makes the roster this year. But for me, next year's where you load up, if you're the Lions, on all your skill guys, on your receivers, on your corners, on like if we get up at the top of the draft and we go Derek Stingley, the LSU corner, him and Okudah, like, oh my god, I'd be so hyped.
See, and I actually want you guys to get was it Thibodeau? The edge
Thibodeau, yeah.
Oh, whoo, there's a couple of these guys.
For me, yeah, one of those top defenders would be my pick next year because I like Goff, and I think he's going to have an okay year, and I think he's signed for like 3 years or whatever.
Yep.
Let him see what he does this year with no weapons.
Yep.
Get him some weapons next year, see how it goes, and then go from there.
Now,
because that goes into Johnny's next thing, isn't Goff the Lions QB right now?
Yes, and we're talking basically like when we're talking dynasty here, like Goff. If you wanted to talk about Goff being in like the top, I don't have him in the top 25 quarterbacks for dynasty because you don't necessarily.
I don't either.
You don't want him unless you can. If you got no quarterbacks whatsoever and you're getting to the very last round and you can steal a quarterback, that's when you want Goff. Because he's a good stopgap for 2 years while you go get your new young one.
And he's still 25. He could be the answer here.
He could.
He looked damn good when they were going to the Super Bowl there.
Yeah, and
that's because he had talent around him. Get some talent around him, and that offensive line, as I've said for about a month here, or probably 2 months since the draft, this is a top 10 offensive line.
Yeah, this is true.
I'll fight that till the end. This is the top 10 offensive line this year. So give him that protection, get him some weapons, and Goff could be the answer there.
Now, when he says the size is more important than speed for number one, they have a higher value. Now, check this out, though. That's the reason why this whole Hawkinson thing for me is real. Like, Hawkinson is a big boy. And he's going to get open. Yet he might get double covered and stuff, and that may leave some value to those wide receivers and even DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams. Like if he can get that offense rolling, it may actually become something very, very nice. We just have to wait and see. So
and see, here's the thing: we're shitting on the receivers. Terrell Williams hasn't shown anything because he's been constantly injured. The talent's there. Sean Perriman looked good in Tampa. He's also just been constantly injured and dealt with drops. If he can fix that could be a damn good receiver. And we don't know anything about these rookies. We haven't seen them step on an NFL field.
No.
So I mean, there's potential there. There's just no bona fide number one coming into camp.
No, and Perriman is right now your burner. I mean, you got Goff, so if Goff just needs to like burn it out, you know, there is value with Perriman there. Like when he was on the Jets, there was value towards the end of the season as well. So
yeah, absolutely.
But I know some people laughed at me in a different league. I had to drop Perriman just because for me, I need youth and I need to keep youth on a dynasty team. And Perriman was like the X factor, just like Terrell Williams was the X factor in our league there. I was like, okay, I'm either going to trade him for just something and put him in a package with something so I can get another bench spot, or he's getting dropped. And that's basically what I've got now is I dropped him. I had a bench spot. I went and picked up Zacchaeus from Atlanta before he got off here because, man, he's got some value to him now. But also if he becomes like a bust, then whatever. You know what I mean? Is shitting on receivers a new sex fetish?
Yeah, I mean, you do you, man.
Not for us here in Canada.
No.
Speaking of Canada, it's open!
Thank God.
We're going to end this now because, Alex, I think you can just pop over here now, technically.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you want, just pop over here. And then we'll drive down to the field here in a bit. So, yeah, we are now going to go play some basketball. We haven't been able to in a while.
I want to do that for so long.
I know. And kick field goals because I've also wanted to do that for so long. I had to buy basketball shoes, and I don't even know if they're basketball shoes. So this will also be interesting. We got a couple people that are going to meet us there.
Quick question here.
Oh, how long do you keep your youth on your dynasty? Do you keep them a couple years and then trade them? So every dynasty team will have taxi
We're
squads.
answering it, Johnny. Damn.
The next. Is that what he said next? Yeah, I see that there.
Answer the damn
question. The answer is if you got a taxi squad. So, for example, if I pulled mine up, just to pull up a couple of taxi squads here, what you do with a taxi squad is if you know a player isn't going to play for 1 year, and it depends on the league, because with our league, the player can only be on the taxi squad for 1 year, and then you have to put him on your bench. Because then people can keep, say, Josh Allen on their taxi squad, and you just never are allowed to use him. That's no fun, and we're not having that happen at all. So if I'm on the North Sports Dynasty League right now, my bench, and we'll see if we can get it right there. Hold on.
Man, I've got a lot of rookies sitting on my bench right now.
Let's see if I can get it. No, not really. Anyway, so I got Kellen Mond from Minnesota. I got Yabeo, the tight end from the Jets. I also got the Granson, Indianapolis tight end. And I got my running back on there right now is Herbert for Chicago. So none of these guys may be any big names to many people right now. Mond may start seeing the field in a year. So he's obviously staying on the taxi squad until next year when we see what the heck's going on with Kirk Cousins. Yep. And then if I need a roster spot and Kellen Mond doesn't look good, I have my extra taxi squad spot for the next year. Same thing with Yabeo and Granson. If they end up just being a third and fourth tight end in rotations and start hopping from team to team, I can drop them and not have to worry about it and pick them up later on in the waiver wires for a couple of weeks, depending on matchups. Running backs are usually the best option to keep there until you see the values, and quarterbacks. Because me, as you may have seen from other shows before, me and Alex have talked about some of these sleeper players here, like a Demetric Felton, Javion Hawkins, even some wide receivers like a
You're just going to keep listing my bench here?
Is that what yours is too? That's hilarious.
Literally, my taxi squad is Demetric Felton.
Okay.
Your boy Kyle Trask.
Yeah.
Hunter Long.
Okay.
And Cade Johnson of Seattle.
Yeah. See, and that's another good one. Now,
and then my bench, I had to decide taxi squad because you loaded me with these rookie running backs and shit.
Yeah, I did.
So I've got Jarrett Patterson of Washington. I got Puka Williams of Cincinnati. Javion Hawkins of Atlanta. And then, rookies, I got Sage Surratt for Detroit that we talked about. Tylan Wallace for Baltimore. And then Fields.
Yeah. And any of those guys, you could throw in a taxi squad and just leave them be for a bit until you start seeing value. And if you don't see value, you can throw them away. Now, one question that will get thrown out there, one sec, is what about someone like Kyle Trask? Whoa, what? But, for example, Mr. Alex here went and decided to grab Kyle Trask with one of his last picks just so he could be like, okay, if me and Andrew are making a trade, I'm just going to dangle Kyle Trask in there for all these little Buck fans and stuff. For me, it's not going to work because I'm a Buck fan and I work for Bucks Report, which you guys can see the cheap seats live tomorrow, which is Sunday.
Yep.
Sunday nights, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. That's your time if you're on the Eastern Standard Time. Or 6:30 p.m. my time. Mountain Time. That's my time. There we go. Bucks Report, we know Kyle Trask isn't going to see the field for a couple of years. So if you play in a league like us, for example, if for worse comes to worse and Kyle Trask starts seeing the field, I'm probably going to be like, all right, if he's playing good, give me Kyle Trask. And Alex is going to be like, not happening, bitch.
Yeah.
So, but to answer your question, you just want to make sure the youth that you're going for will either see the field or have value compared to some of the other players on your team. So for me, what I was talking about there earlier, it's hard to decide, between a Perriman, which will get you points, but is not so youthful, right? Or certain quarterbacks that have fallen out of it. Like some people like Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill. I have sat there and been like, oh, I do need this player, and Taysom Hill is that other quarterback that I'm like, but I can't. Only because in that league, for example, which is not North Sports, because the only thing that I am very thin on is I do have Derek Carr, which I'm still not sold on, but I do have Josh Allen and then like Kellen Mond. But the COVID league that I'm in, which is a harder league, and I've made sure that I'm start from the bottom and make my way up. My bench on there is also Herbert and Mond. I got Roundtree and I got Evans as well.
Okay.
But the quarterbacks that I have here on my bench, I have Kyler Murray, and I got Tom Brady, Derek Carr, and I got Taysom Hill. Tom Brady's staying for a year for sure. Derek Carr is good. Again, not sold, but good. Taysom Hill, if he starts, that mobility just makes it valuable. So,
to me, though, the only thing with Taysom is like, you watch those games when he was in last year. That offense was brutal.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard for me to imagine that Sean Payton is gonna throw a quarterback in that isn't gonna move the ball around. That's just gonna run. Like,
yep. And listen, one game. Hold on, let me go to what was that one game there? Because if I go to game log,
like to me, his Denver game was horrible.
His Denver game
awful.
See, but his Denver game, yes, it was horrible, but he still got 17.52 points because he rushed for those 2 touchdowns. The interception did hurt him, yeah. But then if you look at the game before that, so we're looking at week 11 to week 14, he was like, he's still top tier because he had 23.2 points against Atlanta, 17.5 against Denver. And then he came back with 24.5 against Atlanta again, and then 22.9 against Philly. Whereas he threw 2 touchdowns in both of that Atlanta and Philly game and never rushed for any. In those other games, he rushed for 2. So, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I want to drop him. I don't know if I want to keep him, but damn it, I'm doing it, at least in the one league. And then, of course, the league that you got there. I just decided to go straight up youth, especially because we got defensive players that we use as well.
Yeah.
I got just a lot of good defense or a lot of backups and stuff like that. But I made sure to have my Joe Burrow and my Chris Godwin. But would you look at that? I got my Hawkerson too. And make sure you guys out there get your Hawkerson, because next week me and Alex will do our 3 for sures. So 3 picks that we're going to do for sure. We'll tell you about that are literally for sure. So if you draft them next year, they're going to either finish within the top 5 or top 10 of their respective positions based off of, if we're talking, for example, Perriman's not going to finish in the top 10.
Oh, God, no.
But we will talk sleepers and stuff like that at a different show. We're going to give you guarantees. Other shows call them our guys or my picks and this, that, and everything else. We're just going to give you our 3. Yeah. And our 3 will be, either one quarterback, 1 wide receiver, 1 running back, or wherever we decide to go.
Yeah.
We are going to be going to a basketball court here pretty damn soon. So we're going to get the hell out of here. Mr. Johnny, who said, thank you, I wanted to keep you off the court a little bit longer. I have to wait for my nephew, so I wanted someone else to have to wait a little bit longer. Too bad, Johnny. We are done watching. There we go. We are done watching that. You're done watching. I'm done watching. I don't know what I'm saying anymore because I'm just excited to go outside, hang out with my friends, play some basketball, kick some field goals. But what else do we have here? Taysom will get more points just on the whole design there. I also agree. Was a clone of Breeze and that he can make the short passing yards. That I also agree. If you're counting on youth to count on Jameis maybe not being in the league long, he would be really good playing for the Edmonton Elks here in the CFL XFL merger. Actually, neither him or Taysom. Great show.
Yeah, because Taysom's in his 30s.
He is 30, right on the nose. Yes. So if you're looking again for like a stopgap quarterback for like a year or 2, I would take him only because he's also got that mobility, and that's why I got him number 24. Sorry, on my list, not number 4. That's still Josh Allen. He's got Lamar. We are North Sports Dynasty. Alex, promote yourself.
All right. So as you can see below, just the name Alex Usmore on Facebook. Also North Sports Dynasty on Facebook, at N Sports Dynasty on Twitter. And my personal page on Twitter is at loosemore65.
Yes, and then you can follow me at Andrew _Faubert, and at North Sports Dynasty as well. We made sure we had an update on. Please hold on for a second. I believe we are having a continuation of the match. Of Denmark and Finland. Yep. This match has officially gone back.
Yeah. After that, I got one more thing.
Okay. So Denmark and Finland, 42 minutes into the game, are starting to continue. I have it muted, but for the last, almost very tearful, for the last 10 minutes, the fans cheered so loud that they could not start the game, if you could believe it. Everybody was a little emotional and needed to obviously get it out. Some players are still obviously wiping some tears off of their faces, but this is sports, and this seems like something that Christian Eriksen would want, which I believe is what you were giving me an update on.
No.
Okay, so Christian Eriksen is stable, at least, to all those people out there.
So one more thing just for where you can find me. That right there. So me and Mr. Johnny Dean are starting up another show for Bucks Report on Thursday night. It's just going to be a general around the NFL. We haven't come up with a name yet. We got to do that rather quickly. Thursday night at 5 p.m. Mountain, 7 p.m. Eastern. Catch us on there. Just talking NFL.
Yeah, I'm going to be on there watching. I might come and pop in. Obviously, it'd be a guest. It's not my show, guys. This is Alex and Johnny's show, only because I'm working on something. It's definitely not necessarily sports related, but I'm working on something.
Well, not to mention that would be your third show already.
Oh my God. Yeah, I know. Whereas this other thing that I'm doing is like a one-off unless some big company ever decides to buy me out, which I don't think will ever happen, but that's neither here or there. Thank you again, everybody, for tuning in. This has been the Fantasy Dynasty Player Ranking Show 1 through 10 for quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends. Next week or the week after, we will have 11 through 25 and talk about some of these values that you can get at the later positions. Well, I will have my article up pretty damn soon. Don't forget to get your let me show these off here quick. Don't forget to go to McDonald's and get these, because now these all of a sudden are worth like some people's lives, okay? So just be careful out there, ladies and gentlemen. It's a crazy world. It's a crazy world. And Alex, we get to go enjoy it.
Yes. It's about damn time.
Let's go play some basketball.
Yes.
Let's fucking go play some basketball. All right, guys. Later.